So, what's going on, you guys? This is your psycho host, Psycho Alex, again. I'm just laughing because I feel like I need to catch up now. I have so much creativity, so much intenseness on me that I'm just like trying to, not even trying, things are just coming to my head, like all these ideas and creativeness and shit. And I'm also again in my car and I'm getting messages. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm super late. I'm trying to get into the gym, but I wanted to record this for you guys and wanted to talk about something that just came up and that I was just like, I gotta do it before the creativity flies out of my brain and then I can't do this anymore. So without further ado, today's episode is actually going to be something very personal. I was actually talking and started thinking and going over some things, going over the new year and all the emotions of leaving everything else behind, and not just like things but emotions, people, breakups, have been on sad girl mode all day. Listening to beautiful music that it was vital to get me through 2022, but also most importantly, like, through breakups and stuff like that. And why did this come up? I guess I don't remember exactly where, because I read a lot, I listen to stuff, and then I also talk to a lot of friends. But I was told recently that, or maybe it was in my dreams because I get shit like that, those of you who know me think I'm a witch already, but I was told that in order for it to work, in order for me to create what I want to create, and get my message through, and that it was scary to do what I do with making episodes, is that I have to be true to myself and I have to be vulnerable. And so I guess this is just, I was gonna call it too much, just being too much, and I'll explain that a little further. But I was just referring to, like, what is it that it being vulnerable means, and to me, being vulnerable has been like a cuss word, a forbidden word. It didn't exist in my language. It was something that was literally forbidden for me to talk about and refer to it. And even though I'm always talking about emotions and always telling you guys about being open and being vulnerable and sharing, with strangers and stuff, and like, yeah, I think I've done a little bit of that with strangers especially. It's kind of fun. But I think that the hardest part has been, like, being vulnerable about how certain things and triggers or people and comments and just stuff that has happened to me has made me vulnerable. And the reason why, by the way, background, the reason why, what the hell? Oh, the reason why it looked like I had antennas. The reason why being vulnerable to me is such a thing is because I used to consider it a weakness. I don't know if a lot of you feel that way, but I used to consider it a weakness where I felt that if I shared with people that I was vulnerable, or that I was able to cry, and not just because I was mad, that I was weak. And just like I will never like to accept that I'm wrong, which I've learned to, but I can't really tell you about how I was okay to, my spirit guides and my angels and all my ancestors, like, okay, have you guys ever been caught in a wave? So what happens when you get caught in a wave is you think you're cool, you think you're good, you may know how to swim, you may not know how to swim, you think you're like in the edge, so it doesn't matter. But when you get caught by a wave, you just go and tumble and go and go and go and go and go. You try to catch your breath, you try to get your head out of the water, and it happens. But that's the fourth time. That's the fourth time that someone hits my car. The fuck. But what's it called? You know, when you get caught and you try to catch your breath and you try to get your head above water and stuff, like, there's nothing stopping it, right? And so that has been my spiritual journey throughout 2020 through 2022. Let's hope this year goes better. But with that in mind, or with that comment, that story, what can I say? Like, it has been very interesting to understand that my vulnerability is only here to make me stronger and not to make me weaker. And I seriously, when I tell you I had to learn the hard way, I had to learn the hard way. And I wish I would be able to just tell you and that you'd be able to understand, but you might have to, you know, go through it the hard way and get caught by that wave and tumble until you get dragged out on the beach side. But you know, it was very interesting. And so learning to be vulnerable and understanding that it doesn't make me weak, it has definitely been a journey. So with that, I can't explain all of that to you guys without being honest and being vulnerable and explaining to you how I've learned that a lot of the things that could have possibly, at least on my part, you know, they're not that they are not, it was all my fault and they didn't have anything to do with it. And they, I mean my partners. I can tell you that there was times where I just felt like I was too much. I feel like I still do, you know, and I'm still learning, but there was a lot of that going on when I was growing up. As a kid, my parents made me feel like I was too much, like I was always asking for too much, like I demanded more love, or like I wanted, I don't know, maybe to be the center of the universe, you know, at least of their universe. But you know, they were growing up, they were immature, they were young, and they didn't really know what the hell they were doing by parenting us and stuff like that. And you know, they're not free of all the guilt or free of all the responsibility, but I think that now, growing up and getting to understand different things, like now I get to see the different side, you know, the adult side of everything. And yeah, but I feel like I've always been too much, you know, and that only got followed up to my relationships, you know, in my friendships. And so I guess I should say friendships first. So friendships, when I was again, I'm in the parking lot, so that's why you see all the fucking red lights on my face. I'm sorry. If I had my studio, I'd be able to do it there. But anyways, so growing up, when I had friends, I felt like, again, they either, people would leave me, they would walk away, they would forget, not forget, obviously you can't forget a person just like that, but they didn't care enough for them to be there for me, or to be you know, in my life as my friend. And that's okay. You know, I've learned that that's okay. I've understood that it was about them, not about me, you know. But like back in a year ago, when I was like talking about friends and stuff, and how it still hurt me that people left me when I explained that I was being depressed, and that it wasn't personal, it wasn't about them. So I you know, it's been a journey for sure. So in friendships, I feel like I was too much all the time because I was always the gifter. I've always been like the mom of the group. I'm always asking and teaching them for self-love and to learn to do things and take care of themselves and love themselves. And then when I ask for help, you know, when I ask for stuff for me, it's just like, just be there for me, you know. But I felt like some of these people felt like it was too much of my demand, or like they just couldn't give it or didn't want to, and that's okay, you know. I'm not saying I wanted to spend every single minute of the day with them, but maybe that's how they felt, you know. I'm not saying that I wanted to have sleepovers all the time, but maybe that's how they felt, you know. Like it was just my request, or my being my friend was just too much, and there's no other way for me to word it. Honestly, I just feel like I too much and too intense. I don't know what else. That's all I've known, that I've been called for who I am, to define my intensity of of being a friend, or of being demanding attention from my parents, and of course of a partner, you know. And I guess I set standards very high, which I've always been told that that's not a bad thing, but I guess standards were set too high. But that I can honestly tell you that I've been dealing with all my life, and I've, even for myself, like I have set standards for myself so much higher than for other people, that it took time for me to get to treating myself like my friend, or to treating myself like that little girl, my inner child that needs to be loved and taken care of, instead of like demanding so much of, because I was always demanding so much, you know. My standards of myself, of who I wanted to be. I wanted to have a PhD. I wanted to be the best in school and all this stuff. And, you know, things didn't happen. Things didn't work out. And that didn't make me a failure. Even though the school I went to, that prepped me for that, and everything I learned, and everything that everyone around me made me feel like I was a failure. Which led to depression. But, you know, going through all of this, and trying to figure who you are, this is why I love being 30s now, in my 30s, you know, because I'm actually, everything is finally making fucking sense, you know. This year is special because I'm going for year 33, you guys, 33. But I feel like I'm starting to understand myself. I'm starting to understand that it wasn't me, you know, and there's no other way for me to be myself, and for me to love myself and share my not just my lessons and my insights, but like insights, okay, not insides. Don't go there. For me to share all of this stuff with you guys, and for you to feel identified, and for you to understand that it's not just you going through all of this, it's all of us, you know. We're all at some point in our lives, or at some point in our journey, we're going through this, and or something similar that is causing all of this like stir up, you know. And so I finally understood that it's not me, the intensity excuse me, that I care for my friends, the intensity that I care for my parents, the intensity or parent, the intensity that I care for myself. Like, I'm using all this energy and all this like things that I know to take care of myself, and if I preach about it, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be an asshole, but it ain't about you, it's about me. You know. I feel like I saw that reflect on my toxic ass relationship or situationship of 2021, where he kept continuously making me feel like I was too much, and was always like making me feel like I only cared about myself. And maybe for a moment I did. I had to actually sit down with myself and my thoughts and my emotions and process what I was asking for, and if that was too much of me to ask. And as well as, like, there were times where I was only worried about my feelings. I was only worried about what I knew, but that was because of miscommunication, and also because it was toxic, right? But miscommunication, like, there was no expression of him telling me how my actions or my emotions or my explosion of emotions affected him and affected his emotions and reactions and love language and all that shit. Like, but you also don't fucking go and cheat on somebody you care about, right? And I mean, while you cheat, like, cheating happens. We've talked about this, but I feel like if you want to be with somebody you care about, then you're gonna figure out a way to be with that somebody. We're not gonna get all into that, but that's my point. Like, I feel like there were times where he made me feel like I was too much, like I was demanding too much. And when I started focusing all that energy, all that obsession that I get into my self-love and into myself, I started to process things and realize that only I can give myself stuff. Only I can love myself unconditionally. And if somebody else comes along the way, then dope. But if not, then I'm gonna be perfectly fine, and I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna not be awesome, and I'm not gonna, like, just be enough, because for a long time being too much made me feel like I was never enough, or like I was always too much. And I was never gonna find somebody who understood my emotions or who cared enough to give me such too much, and be on equal ground and stuff like that. But now I know that if I'm too much, I'm too much for myself. I'll give myself all that too much. I'll love myself exceedingly, and I will care for myself, and I will treat myself, and I will take myself out on dates, and I will fucking do everything I need to do for myself, and that's perfectly fine. As far as friendships goes, like, I've had friends that have been gone. I have friends who will go and come back, and I have friends who I know I can always call, and that's awesome, but I'm no longer gonna linger around and get hurt by people who think I'm too much. And if that's how you feel, then goodbye. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm not gonna change myself, that part of myself, the truest part of myself, in order for you to feel comfortable. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, then go take care of yourself and figure out what's going on with you. And I don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, that's okay too. And I just feel like this message needed to come out, like, right now, because there was no other time. There was not going to be other way. If I went into the gym and I worked out and I listened to music, all my ideas and my thoughts were just going to go away, and then I wasn't going to be able to get this through to you guys. Somebody needs to hear this, and that's okay. So I needed to get this out, and I needed to tell you guys all about that. And people can make fun of me. I don't care. People can dislike this video. I don't care. But I think that somebody needed to hear that if you are too much, or if you feel like you are not enough, then, take care of yourself. Worry about yourself. Just do the self-love thing and figure it out. You don't have to be anything anyone else wants except what you want, and that's vital. That's important, because you need to take care of yourself. Everyone else can suck it. And yeah, you guys, this has been very interesting, recording in the parking lot again. I don't know if there was something else. I was trying to see if I can look up my notes. Yeah, okay. So one more thing, and this is gonna take me on a whole other emotional roller coaster. So being intimidating, and I think that has to do with, again, being too much. That I found, I've gotten a lot of comments and stuff from and conversations too from guy friends who are always saying, "Oh, we want the girl to ask us out, take the lead, blah blah blah," and I call bullshit. Okay, maybe not on everything, maybe not on everybody, but I call bullshit, because I am definitely very independent and I'm very daring, even though I am actually really shy. But when I like somebody, I will hesitate and think about it, but I won't hesitate to go and ask them out. I won't hesitate to go and approach them and start a conversation, ask for a number, give my Instagram, or whatever. And I haven't really, I can honestly tell you, it hasn't really been 100% that great. I think out of 5 dudes I probably asked, like, 1 said yeah. And so whenever they want to turn the tables and say that they want girls to do that, or that girls probably get laid and stuff more than dudes do, like, that's a whole debate, and we can go there. I really want to go, but you guys don't reply. But it's a thing. Like, I don't think guys get intimidated by me and don't appreciate me asking them out or asking for their number. What else? When I do like somebody, and if maybe they like me back and they flirt with me, they don't react too well when I'm the one taking the lead. And I take the lead because I'm very impatient, and I learned that too. That was part of my lesson of 2022, you guys, being patient. But it's been a hassle, it's been a pain, because to me personally, if you do like me, I have no patience to waiting until next week for you to grow a pair and come out and ask me out. So if I ask you out, or I start a conversation and there is no flow back, like, where are we going? What are we doing? I ain't got time, and I don't mean like the time that I'm not gonna have patience for. It's just that I'm not 20. I'm not 15 anymore, where I would linger around and wait around and feel like the bubblies and stuff. Like, I love being 30 for that thing, like all the movies and stuff that they say, like, are we doing this, like, or the memes, like, are we doing this? Like, I don't have time to wait around and see if you like it, see if you think about this, see if you go and like my pictures. Like, you want to do this, you want to go out, let's go out, let's hang out. Fuck, I've done this to dudes. I genuinely just want to be their friends with them, and they automatically, like, curve me, not just to the friend zone, which is what I wanted in the first place, but also, like, block me as a fucking, like, psycho. And while that is my nickname, it is nickname for psychology, not for psycho as in crazy. But like, they have marked me, or maybe there's a thin line there, but they have marked me as a psycho, or just, closed me off as, like, someone who they don't want to be friends with, because of whatever ideas and things that they have in their head. Cool, no problem, next. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'll have dudes really just, like, decline me, I want to say, from my approach or from whatever. This thing is, like, itching me. I'm sorry. I keep scratching my neck because of my necklace. Anyways, because people already automatically assume that my approach is for something else. And if my approach is for something else, they get intimidated. And look, there's nothing not sexy, or less sexy, I should say, than someone who is intimidated by you, because then, like, I can go on, and I'm not. I shouldn't. But I just want to say, I prefer somebody who can be dominating and submissive at the same time. I don't want somebody who is going to not first of all, get scared by me, and then like, I know I'm awesome, but get scared by me and then not make a move on me, or not have an intention to be my friend if that's what my intention is. I don't know, I feel like it's too much. I feel like now that's too much, and I can't, like, I don't know, I just don't think that's for me. If it's a partner, if it's someone I'm interested in, if you are not gonna initiate anything, I'm so over that. Then what are we doing? Then let's not. So yeah. And then to top it off, I'm gonna cleanse. Like the celibacy, is that even a thing? Is that how it, celibate? I don't know what that is. And I don't mean syllabus. But I'm actually I just lost the word. Dang it. But yes, I'm celibate for a bit. And I want to, maybe that's why all my creativity is so tensed up. I just need to spit it out and let it out one way or another. But, where was I going with that? That it's just, I'm not gonna be mistreated any longer. I'm not gonna accept, to be called too much, or to even go out with someone who considers me being too much. And that's why I don't even feel like asking anybody out, because I feel like dudes will not understand, Hey, I mean, I'll ask a girl out too, if I'm into it, but no, not into it with a girl or with a dude, because I don't feel like I've been treated right, and until I'm treated right, then I'm not gonna care. Try. I swear, like, people and my girlfriends think that my DMs are full of dudes who wanna, like, you know what I mean? And they might be. I'm not gonna put out all their secrets out there, and they might be, but none of them actually ask me out. None of them want to take me serious. None of them want to take the time to really ask me about my day, or ask me about what I care about and what matters to me. Posting on my page too apparently is too much. I have tried myself to stop posting as much, to stop sharing as much, to stop sharing memes as much, because that also I've been told that I'm too much, and like it makes me laugh, and like, I'm sorry, I think of you when I see something funny. I guess I'll stop thinking about you. But those are the kind of things that have affected my life. So this was just to let you know, if you feel like you're too much, call 1-800. No, if you feel like you're too much, just know other people feel the same way. Just other people opinions shouldn't weigh so heavy on who you are. I am no longer gonna change who I am based on XYZ and people who don't matter, and their opinions, because they don't know who they are, or they can't take care of themselves, or they can't like love themselves genuinely. And I feel like at 32, I can tell you that I am definitely on the journey of loving myself genuinely, and I decided to do this podcast episode thing because I wanted to share with all of you the real things, the things that we don't talk about, like I said, and the intimate things that we don't share, like feeling vulnerability is weakness, and your vulnerability may be different. You being vulnerable may deal with other things, but to me, being vulnerable was a weakness. And I feel like through breakups and stuff, like even my mom, like honestly, through breakups, she was just like, you can't be weak, you can't cry, like you're not like that, you're the strong one, and this and that. And I mean, strong people need to cry, you know? Strong people need to let go. I've been mourning my grandmother. Her birthday was in November. Her anniversary is coming up. And you can't just let it go, right? When you lose someone you care about so much. So I'm gonna cry if I feel like it. I'm gonna miss her if I feel like it. I'm gonna remember her if I feel like it. And I don't care how that my vulnerability or my being too much is gonna make other people feel anymore. And I feel like that's the only way to start off 2023 and to genuinely love myself and genuinely be myself. And if you're going through something like that, then I recommend 100% to do whatever it is you want to do that makes you feel the most genuine to yourself, the most true to yourself. And if that means being too much, then fuck it and be too much. Those who genuinely care about you will be there and will love you and for who you are, and that won't be a thing for them, you know. Yeah, this has been Shenanigans and More, and I'm too much, but that's okay. Thank you guys. Have a good night. And I'm gonna go work out because I had fries today.